Ms. Brittany K. Jackson, Public Information Officer for the Vallejo Police Department. Today, Chief of Police Shawnee Williams will be making statements and taking questions regarding the officer-involved shooting that occurred on June 2nd. Please hold your questions until the conclusion of the briefing. At that time, we'll take questions for approximately 10 minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon. All right, thank you. Not as easy as it looks. These are the facts as we know them today. On the night of June 2nd, 2020, officers throughout the city were responding to a variety of riot-related calls for service. Our officers were initially dispatched to the Walgreens on the 1000 block of Redwood Street at approximately 10:17 p.m. on June 1st without incident as looters fled the scene. At approximately 12:15 a.m. on June 2nd, our officers received a return call indicating that looters had returned to the Walgreens and were attempting to break into the pharmacy located on the east side of the building. Officers were dispatched again, and at approximately 12:36 a.m., a responding unit reported seeing 10 to 12 potential looters in the parking lot. Turning his attention toward a male dressed in black who appeared to be armed in front of the business. The other responding officers, driving an unmarked police vehicle in full uniform, drove into the parking lot from the opposite side of the initial responding unit. As this police vehicle drove into the parking lot of the Walgreens, at least one officer observed potential looters entering 2 carloads of vehicles suspected of looting the business. At this time, both suspect vehicles began to drive out of the parking lot. The first vehicle, a silver truck, drove out of the parking lot first, driving around the first responding unit. The black-colored sedan rammed the initial responding unit, which caused the airbag to be deployed and the vehicle to be disabled. The officer was injured as a result of this collision, which appeared to be intentional. Both vehicles fled the scene, leading to a separate pursuit in which the suspects in the silver truck were apprehended in Contra Costa County. The black sedan was not stopped. Simultaneously to these events, officers in the second responding unit observed a single male dressed in black standing on the east side of the building, holding what appeared to be a weapon. This individual appeared to be running toward the black sedan, but suddenly stopped, taking a kneeling position and placing his hands above his waist, revealing what appeared to be the butt of a handgun. Investigations later revealed that the weapon was a long 15-inch hammer tucked into the pocket of his sweatshirt. Due to this perceived threat, one officer fired his weapon 5 times from within the police vehicle through the windshield, striking the suspect once, fatally wounding the suspect. Following the critical incident protocol, the Vallejo Police Department and the Solano County District Attorney's Office are conducting a joint criminal investigation. The suspect was identified as Sean Monterosa, 22-year-old male from San Francisco. The suspect has a criminal history of shoplifting, petty theft, illegal weapon violations, assault with a deadly weapon, shooting into an inhabited dwelling, carrying a loaded firearm in a vehicle, possessions of narcotics for sale, and attempted murder. Investigations have made several attempts to contact next of kin. The officer who discharged his weapon has been placed on routine paid administrative leave. The witness officers have also been placed on paid administrative leave. The department is conducting an internal affairs investigation through professional standards unit. And now I'll open it up for questions.
Did you say he kneeled, the man kneeled?
Yes, I did.
And what color was his skin?
I can't hear you.
What is his ethnicity?
Hispanic. We believe it to be Hispanic.
Chief Williams, can you tell us what the rules are here for Vallejo Police Department as far as firing through a vehicle through a windshield, as you described?
The officers that are part of the crime reduction team are SWAT operators. It's a practice that they practice. It's basically the rules of law apply to when you're defending yourself. If there is a threat, a credible threat, you can respond to that. But they do train to shoot that way.
And that's allowed within the department, that they can shoot through a windshield?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
When do you expect body camera videos to be released?
Well, we have up to 45 days. I do believe in rapid transparency, so we're going to get the body-worn camera video out as soon as we can.
How do you spell the victim's man's name?
His last name is spelled Monterrosa. First name Sean, Sean.
Chief, I'd like to pivot for a moment to thank you. I'm Jeffrey Schaff with KCBS Radio. What role did the National Guard play in last night's events at City Hall at the police department? And what are you doing to plan for any further events, any reason to believe there may be further events this evening?
On Monday night, we didn't have National Guard. The National Guard was called in because of the events on Monday. Monday was a horrific night, something we've never seen in 27 years. It was an orchestrated, organized assault on our city. There were social media advertisements to come to Vallejo and commit looting and crime, and that's what happened on Monday. We had to call many allied agencies in to help us to deal with what was happening on Monday. On Tuesday, we called for additional assistance. Our officers are exhausted, but they're resilient and they're committed to safeguarding our city. But we needed the additional resources to safeguard many of the businesses that were frankly destroyed or severely damaged on Monday.
Was
Chief
the
Williams.
Guard involved in any of the firing of weapons or tear gas, any of that, or were they standing guard
Again, the National Guard was not here on Monday.
last night?
Last night, the guards were placed in different areas to guard different areas. So they're not policing the city, but they are in different businesses and different critical infrastructure areas.
Chief Williams, when was Sean pronounced dead, and why did your officers in your department wait more than 24 hours to announce that they had shot and killed this 22-year-old?
Again, after Sean was shot, the officers administered first aid. He was transported to a local hospital. The information that we received about his death came hours later.
But we're more than 24 hours now. Did the department purposefully wait more than 24 hours to announce that officers had shot and killed a 22-year-old because more protests were expected last night?
No, we didn't purposely wait. We had this plan, I had this plan so that we could talk about what was happening. We did push out an initial statement about the officer-involved shooting hours following the shooting.
Why not include his condition in that initial statement, that he was deceased and that more information would be forthcoming today?
When we pushed out the information, he wasn't pronounced dead.
When was he pronounced, please?
I don't have that information in my notes, but I would have to look that up for you.
Chief, were you the officer involved that fired the shot?
We're not releasing his name yet. We will be releasing his name soon, but we're not releasing his name now. I can tell you he's a 18-year veteran officer.
A lot of people are going to have a difficult time wrapping their head around that what he had was a hammer in his waistband, as you described, and not a weapon, and now he's no longer here. Can you speak to the residents here in Vallejo about that?
I would say that it's always a tragedy anytime an officer has to use force. My condolences to his family. It is a difficult thing to happen. I understand that. I am here, and we are here to put out information so that we are open and transparent and people know where we're coming from. I would like to say that since I've been here in the city of Vallejo, we've made many changes in terms of our de-escalation policy, in terms of our body-worn camera policy, in terms of the way that we analyze and look at force. So there are many positive things that are happening in the city of Vallejo.
How is de-escalation used here?
Well, I'll say this, ma'am. When they responded to that area, to the Walgreens, the intent was to stop the looting and to arrest any perpetrators if necessary. The officers reacted to a perceived threat. Now, the district attorney's office will investigate this and decide whether or not this was a legal shooting or not, but they are the ultimate authority in determining that.
With all due respect, I understand that
Next
you're
question.
investigating, but to
Isn't
me,
that a
this was.
sign of peace?
And his hands up, that's what I thought you, I just wanted to clarify. I thought I understood you said he was kneeling, his hands were up, which exposed a hammer in his waist. So I don't understand the threat.
I will clarify. His hands were above his waist,
And
where what appeared to be a butt of a gun was located.
But it also was stated that we saw a weapon in his hands, he came in, but the camera was hidden underneath his sweatshirt. So how was that seen when he came in and his sweatshirt was covered, and he had the explosive underneath his sweatshirt? Did he put it back in there and then get shot within 2 minutes?
So as I said, that individual was running towards that black sedan. His hands came up. He took a posture which was odd because the officers believed that he was going to get into the car and they were going to go. So when that happened, there was a turning movement. It exposed what appeared to be the butt of a gun.
So he didn't lift his shirt up physically with his hands?
I can't answer that part.
Well, that's what was stated earlier in the statement, that he physically lifted his shirt up with his hands to reveal what was underneath his face.
I didn't state that, but that's what you're saying.
Have you reviewed the body cam footage?
That it's okay for them to shoot and kill somebody when they're on their knees? At what point does anybody stop and say, enough is enough, let me see what's actually going on? Because we are losing fire for many people.
Officer, at what point do you arrest him and make an example out of all these officers and arrest him, fire him, not pay leave, fire him for killing a man that was on his knees?
Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, we are going to conclude the press briefing. If you do have any further questions.
Was this
He has
excessive
nothing
force?
else to say.
In the 27 years, what you've reviewed so far, was this excessive?
This will be the last question I'm going to answer. Like I said, the district attorney office and the Vallejo Police Department Detective Unit is conducting a joint criminal investigation. They will make the ultimate finding on whether or not the force was lethal or not. Additionally, our internal affairs unit will be conducting an administrative review of what happened.
Understood. In your opinion, in your 27 years, you said yesterday to this group, in 27 years, you had never seen anything like this. Based on your experience of 27 years, was this excessive force?
Like I said, the district attorney is going to look at this, and our internal affairs unit is going to look at it.
Somebody on their knees.
We thank you for your time. We thank you for attending this press briefing. At this time, we're going to conclude it. And if you have any further questions, you can contact me on the Vallejo PIO platform. Thank you.
Police chief, what are you going to do is what we're asking.
We didn't
You
get our
have
10
the
minutes of
authority.
questions. We don't get 10 minutes of questions? As it was stated in the beginning, back to business as